Limos and Roses is a humorous and occasionally offensive podcast. All opinions are based on the bachelors and bachelorettes being in the top 99 percentile of their respective genders with regard to their physical attributes. In other words, no offense. And thank you for listening. Enjoy.
The very 46th podcast of Limos and Roses.
Whoa.
This is the still shirtless, bitchy queens surprise fabulous 5 fall foliage drone shot semi-sober bachelor might actually get married podcast that you all know and love. The recap podcast over all other recap podcasts that covers season 25 of The Bachelor. Thank you so much for tuning in. As you may or may not know, this very show began with our own Bachelor Fantasy League entitled Limos and Roses. On this podcast, I'm joined by my husband,
Chet,
and our buddy,
Frace.
And me. I am your host and moderator, Chelsea. So, can we just do like our Anna faces when she says that real quick? Can we just like show for our listeners we're making that weird Anna teeth thing that she does
I feel
when
bad
she's
doing it.
talking about
I feel bad
it?
doing it, but it's so obvious, and they show the same clip 17 times. I was like, she's
know.
still drying her white strips at the campfire.
The campfire.
Anna, your teeth are beautiful. That's the truth.
Yeah. So this whole show opening happens. We know about it already. Then the show actually begins. And we have drone shots. We have a pensive Matt about Sarah. He shared a lot with her. Then we go back to the ranch. And Victoria says the trash took itself out. And Katie defends Sarah. And the girls kind of agree with Katie because Katie is still the best. We move into this new half-hearted date breakdown.
Breakdown.
Yeah, you sneaked that one in there on him quick. It was like you were trying to test him.
I mean,
All right.
Did I pass?
I mean, C is a passing grade, so yeah.
I was gonna say like a D minus.
C plus. I'll give you a C plus.
Thank
It came out of
you.
nowhere because the last episode ended with a date card being shown and Sarah coming downstairs and no one ever reading the date card. So this is a half-hearted date breakdown.
Breakdown. Sorry, I was trying to do half-hearted.
This is only the nighttime portion of the group date with Abigail, Mari, Piper, Maggie, Chelsea, MJ, and Bree. There's some MJ time. I really like Mari's hair curly. She always straightens it. I really enjoyed that wave. And that actually leads into Chelsea talking about her hair story, as it were, and how she's been straightening it chemically since she was 2 years old. But I really enjoyed that chat. It brought her closer to Matt, in my opinion. You guys have anything to say about that?
But he did go with the leg touch. You know, that's always a good sign for at least one more rose coming.
It's a good sign if you go with a leg touch and it's met with, you can touch my leg.
Yeah, for sure.
I can assure you that if you touch a woman's leg and it's met with like a recoil, don't touch her leg.
I bet you can assure me. Yeah.
The whole start of this episode can be summed up with Victoria's being Victoria, and that's not a good look.
So meanwhile, back at the ranch, Vic wants an apology from Katie, and they have this conversation, and it's so silly. And Katie comes off as really intelligent, and Vic comes off as not.
Vic. Vic comes off as Vic.
So, we move into a very eventful cocktail party. Anna and Elsa, the Victoria comparison that happens, let it go, bitch. I thought that was absolutely pristine. Mwah.
Please be Elsa. and run away into the middle of nowhere. Please.
Victoria has a quote, and she says, "If you try to shut me down, I wouldn't."
Yeah, that actually sums her up pretty well.
The group date rose goes to Chelsea.
Deservedly so.
So,
Yeah.
Frace, your girl just got a rose. Hey, hey, hey.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to rub it in.
I know.
That's true. That's very Frace to withhold his true feelings on something. Yeah.
So here's the deal. Chris Harrison walks up in the middle of her time with Matt, and he says there's some very serious things that they need to discuss as he brings him to the front of the nemacolin and tells him there's a limo and there's other women in it. And now we have 5 bonus ladies. Can I get your immediate reaction? Because we have 5 more Limo Exits.
I couldn't be more excited. I say, listen, bring
I
more
could.
women. Bring more. I know you could. Bring more women in. I just want to start talking about Brittany.
There we
and,
go.
And,
All
and
right.
the excuse, by the way, when he brought the 5 as the limo pulls in, Chris is speaking with Matt, and he's just completely like, he might as well have been massaging his shoulders, just talking him up. He's like, well, obviously, Matt, because you're the Bachelor, we had a record turnout for applications. And Frace mentioned last week, yeah, because it's COVID times, people are doing nothing else, and everyone needs money. So let's go get Insta-famous.
And everyone's horny.
Well, yeah, that's true, too. I hadn't even thought about that,
On
but
top
that's
of it.
true. If it had been a Bachelorette,
Literally.
they would have been like, so, just so you know, we brought on 50 new guys.
All right, so let's get into this quarantine surplus of women. That is these 5 Limo Exits. Number 1, Brittany.
I could not be more excited that this is one of my girls. She's gonna go far. Brittany looks like the type of woman who steals your husband.
I thought she looked like a hot Mini Driver. That's exactly who she looks like.
Michelle.
They have a very, very, very strong connection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's very, very genuine. That's what I got.
Brittany is literally like mistress, and then they put a wife,
Wife, yep.
Wife.
and then they put a bunch of people that we don't care about.
Yeah.
I mean, those first 2 out of the limo, I was like, just send like 10 girls home now.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. Number 3, Ryan.
I wrote down Ryan.
Yeah. I wrote that down, followed by, see ya.
Great.
And I'm not talking about the singer.
Number 4, Kim.
I wrote Sweet Who.
Yep. She's sweet and nice, and it was nice knowing you, Kim.
Number 5, Catalina.
They're bringing out the big guns, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, what, Miss Universe Puerto Rico?
She was
Yeah.
Miss Puerto Rico, and she won Miss Universe in 2015.
Which
I mean,
surprised
like-
me a little bit. That surprised me. She's attractive, but universe, I don't know about that.
Well, you know,
she wasn't even Miss Limo Exit. She was second place or third place.
well, there's a lot more that goes in. There's a lot more that goes into pageantry than looks.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to be well spoken. You have to. It's a lot of things, talent, you know. But yeah, you're right. It ultimately boils down to looks. I'm not going to disagree with you.
But that's not a knock on her. I mean, obviously she's an
course.
attractive woman, you know.
And
Yes.
these women that are coming in, 3 of them specifically, are professionals. It's like they brought in assassins to just like go in, covert op, and just like take some women out.
Yep.
So, these 5 girls, mainly SEAL Team 3, arrive, and the girls are shocked. They're shocked. They're terrified, obviously, because they see SEAL Team 3. And so, it's interesting. We immediately see that Brittany is the new Black Widow, right? Michelle definitely seems like great people.
Yeah.
And we see that immediately. She does say they would #breed well. On that note, it's fascinating because I was totally expecting that we would go right into a Rose rundown. so going on. Wow, you guys really shook it up, didn't you?
I need to open these guys. I need to take some stress off.
All right. Serena P, Chelsea, and Rachel already have roses. MJ.
Mean curls.
So sexy.
Piper.
Jumpsuit slam dunk.
The hot girl next door from an old school sitcom.
Bree.
Safe bet.
I am Moana.
Maggie.
The international traveler.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Michelle.
Runner up.
Welcome to hell. Just, she's going to be surrounded by shenanigans, but she doesn't have to worry about it.
I think that she'll be fine.
She'll be fine, but it still doesn't mean that she's not sitting in the fiery bowels of hell.
Mari.
Kardashian.
Yeah. He wants to see where she came from. I'm still convinced. He wants to see where she came from.
Ryan.
Boobs.
Next.
Kit.
Millennial fashion.
Like old-fashioned with millennial in it. That's interesting.
yeah.
I like it.
Serena C.
What did I write here?
Exactly.
Did I write underrated?
That's a fair assessment.
Abigail.
Adorbs.
Of course.
Katie.
Sleeper hit.
Love her, dude.
Victoria.
Front runner.
No comment.
Front runner.
I can't believe I have to give you the underscoring of that there. Oh, man.
Lauren.
I forgot about her.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Brittany.
Mistress.
Minnie.
Jasenia.
Hair goals.
She's still in my secret top 6. I could see
I
it.
think she's delightful.
Anna.
Hannah-Bama.
Patty Simcox.
Catalina.
Catalina wine mixer.
Yes! I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it. And a fond farewell to Kylie. Kim. And Kayla.
That one hurt.
That hurts because she was awesome.
Like, some of them just don't get a real shot, but
I actually feel good for some of them. They don't have to deal with all the drama and try to vie for somebody who maybe they're not even into.
That's true. That's very true.
Moving forward, we can actually go into a full-blown, real date breakdown.
Breakdown.
This is the group date card. It says, let's fall in love. And it's a group date with Mari, Bree, Abigail, Brittany, Ryan, Catalina, Maggie, Anna, and Victoria, of course. And before we actually jump into the date, we have a visit from the one, the only, Ben Higgins from season 20 of The Bachelor. I'm assuming he had to quarantine for this. And he is the new JoJo. So...
Yep.
It's always funny when they have these past contestants come back and talk about finding love on The Bachelor when they didn't find it that on their season or they found it off The Bachelor.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah.
I love the obstacle course date. There's about 3 or 4 humiliating group dates that occur, and this is, I think, the best one. And poor Maggie gets stuck in a giant pumpkin boat in the
cute.
water.
It's cute.
It was cute. Do you guys have any words on this?
Mari won the last physical challenge as well, right? Didn't she?
She won the life physical challenge.
Yeah, she got the good genes.
This is the physical challenge of life.
Physical.
And I don't know if you. I personally thought those kayaks were gorgeous.
Oh my god.
And,
sorry, you were talking and some of your voice was getting lost. It was a little patchy.
Oh yeah. Nice. All right, hang on, Pumpkin. Let me just grab this fruit from down here.
Okay. Sorry, I'm not using my normal glass. This is not my nice stemware.
Let's just squash this pun situation.
Oh god, you need to stop.
Okay. It was humiliating models, which is always fun.
Everybody just seems to be a good sport. I guess is the best way to. And you know what? I will say this. I even think Victoria is a good sport. When it comes to this type of stuff. I mean...
All right. Moving on to the nighttime portion of the date. The first thing that Matt James asks all the girls, so what do you think about that? That was fun, right? And they're like, yeah, no, it was not fun, dude, but we know you didn't have control over it, so, like, we all had to do it, but it wasn't fun. Okay. And then we eventually get to the bombshell of Brittany being an escort. Any words on this section?
Let's be real. For all the shenanigans, that's a bold accusation on national television.
First of all, I don't think she's an escort. Second of all, if she is an escort, who cares? You know, she might run in a circle with a lot of wealthy men, and she might might go out on dates with guys, and they might buy her presents.
A friend of mine, who was an escort. That's what her job was.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
Yeah, hilarious. And she didn't sleep with the dudes. Like, it was literally, she would go out with old men and put her arm around theirs, and they would take her to big parties. And that was literally what she did.
Also, I honestly don't know in this day and age why we would shame an escort.
It's a job.
Because her job is model on the show. I'm really fascinated at how they bring up that she's an escort because, yes, Jet, like you said, in big cities like New York, LA, Chicago, even Miami, that's a very common thing.
I agree with you 100%, Chelsea. This is a classic example of trying to slut shame somebody and not having all of the knowledge.
But yeah, speaking of where is this knowledge coming from? Who's telling her this stuff?
Who cares? It's like dating. That's that's what it is.
I agree. It's just, it involves a contract and a signature. Therefore, people see it as dirty and weird. And I'm like,
you know what else involves a contract and a signature? Getting married.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then you're paying the rest of your life, both of you.
Yes, we are. And the ink is dry on the page, so I'm going to finish this drink. My God.
Hey, well, as long as the ink's dry on the page, but my pen still works, we're good. We're good to go. We're good to go.
All right. So, we are back at the ranch, and the girls are pissed. Why? Because there's a date card, and it's not for anyone who's been here for more than 24 hours. It's for Michelle. Mm-hmm. And we call that because this show is predictable. And then we go back to the date, and Bree gets the rose, and Anna is frustrated because she didn't, but she wasn't gonna get it. So, before we dive into this unexpected, but also very much expected one-on-one, I think we should take the totally unexpected, but also very much expected bridge over the treacherous bachelor waters that is Frace's Fashion Corner!
I love this little,
going to
like a bridge over troubled water, you will enter the corner. And since we're in this lovely... thanks for the drum solo, Jed. I really appreciate that. Welcome to the new corner. It speaks for itself. So Matt is a lumberjack, apparently, at the beginning of this episode. But he's a lumberjack with skinny jeans, so it's a confusing look for me. And I just said, I'm confused, Matt. Please explain this to me.
I think lumberjacks call that a lumber hack.
It was a lumber hack. Thank you. That's the look that's the lumber hack look. Thank you, Jet. You pretend like you don't know fashion. You do. Victoria's faux fur jacket. I love it on opposite day. Matt looks great in lavender. It's a gray suit. I think that's nice. I'm not crazy about the tie, but you're getting there, Matt. And then I love the jumpsuit on Piper and the hair up on Piper. I know that we love the curly hair down as well, but she looked, stunning with her hair up and back. Kit, I like her ashy hair and the pulled back portions of her hair. I know that I received some flack on that before. When the big guns come out, as I like to call them, or the professionals, or and we're not an escort. Yeah. We're not saying okay. Amazing.
Careful.
AJFitch21 at hotmail.com. Amazing black sparkle dress on Brittany. No wonder. And here's the other thing. Michelle has a beautiful dress. It's a nude floral applique. I love it. I guess if you're, Miss Universe, you have to wear your sash and your crown. Fine. Chris Harrison's paisley tie. It's like a deconstructed paisley tie. I don't know if anybody caught that. It was right before the rose ceremony, and I was like, what is this tie? I want it because I love Chris Harrison. Ladies, if you're going to expose your stomach will be exposed. Kylie, I'm sorry, this dress is a high neck open plunge with a Fabergé egg encrusted detail. It's not for me. I love your hair though, and then you're gonna go home. And I think it's because of your fashion choice. Okay, beige on beige on beige equals beige. As I sit in this like beige throne. Yeah, I realize I'm a hypocrite, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But please don't take it with a turtleneck. I know you love turtles. We get it, Matt. Stop wearing them.
Even my globe is beige. I'm just like looking around like we are a lot of beige.
Is your neck that cold? You know, what is going on? Like, I'm not into Michelle's neckline or the color on her. I think that this is a very, very stunning woman that's not doing herself justice with her fashion. And I also hate the shirt on you, Matt. So here's the good news. Fashion-wise, terrible date. Connection-wise, great date. So, you know, can't win them all. MJ, are you a pirate now? Oh my gosh, guys. They start boxing, but all I can think about is activewear. Sexy boxing outfits, by the way. I mean, if I'm going to see two girls go at it, enough said. Frace's Fashion Corner is a safe space. I'm going to say a lot of things that you're not going to agree with, and that's okay. It's just take me out of the corner.
Too sexy for this song.
Fabulous. Oh, man. Okay, so, you guys, it's the best one-on-one that we've had so far in this season. This is the one-on-one date with Michelle. Let's make up for lost time. She is the absolute best. I feel like she should win this whole thing. I am calling this. There's zip lining, which is really easy to do, but fun if you're not afraid of heights. She's obviously not afraid of heights because she's into this guy who's super tall. Michelle finished first. I love this moment. This girl is good people. She's got a great sense of humor. She's a teacher, which, I mean, the best people in our lives that we know are teachers, right? I mean, I love teachers. She was an athlete. He was an athlete. And at the end, we have some hot air balloon time. Mm-hmm. And all I wrote for this daytime portion of the date at the end of all of that was, Sarah who?
Clearly, there's a connection there. It's palpable. You can see it. The zip lining was, of course, fun. And, you know, I am afraid of heights, but I would do a zip line for sure.
Zip lines are awesome. Yeah, they're awesome.
I feel like there's just so much security in a zip line, you know? It's
the one thing on this show that's secure.
He's had some dates that are fine, but this was an actual, like, really amazing first date.
It felt like a real date, and I agree.
I found myself, like, actually enjoying watching the show.
I think, okay, so here's the deal. I feel with her in particular, what I like about it is, now this is my personal opinion, so it means literally nothing, just in life. But with regard to the show, even less than nothing. She's not the most attractive contestant, in my opinion, on the show. But she's very pretty. You know, we've talked about this. Disclaimer. She's obviously hot. But there was a podcast that I believe Frace shared with me where Matt James showed up and spoke on his type. You know, he basically said, hot girls that I've dated are high maintenance, and the ones who other friends were like, oh, wow, you're dating her? That's not what I'm used to seeing you with. And he goes, those were my best relationships because they're kind and genuine and sweet. I like that kind of a mature view of finding the one. Yes, everything starts with physical, but you still have to have a little bit of wiggle room in there when you're looking at 32 10s. You know, 9s, 10s, and 8s. Who cares? Yeah, I'm going to push away a 10 to take an 8. And I feel like that's what he's doing, and he's doing it consciously, and he's doing it happily. And I bought into every moment on this date. From daytime to nighttime. We haven't even gotten to the nighttime yet, but I was very pleased with it. This is going to go well over the course of the rest of the season, I think.
This rose that she receives is a no-brainer. And Matt says, you know, I wouldn't be here if I wasn't serious about finding a wife. That's exactly what Michelle is. And then we end in some random antique cars at the nemacolin making out in the back seat. How do you guys feel about the nighttime portion of this date?
I mean, I think it could just be summed up as this was a breath of fresh air. You know, if we're actually here for the right reasons, this is one of those lightning in a bottle moments where they had a real connection. They were meant to meet each other in this moment.
This is what we want to see every week. We want to see this every single week.
Well, we also want to see
temper
Victoria.
that. It does go against everything I feel, because like I've always argued about the show, about how they don't have anything real. And so this evening portion for me, I'll be honest, it was amazing. It was beautiful, but I got bored quickly. Like she said, he said time flies by with her. And I was like, I wish it worked the same way for me and you two. Because, oh my God, I was like, what? But it gave me a bit of respite from taking notes. So that was nice. And I was just like, it was just boring. And that's fine. So this is what we would get if it was a bunch of realness and it wouldn't last. So as far as the show goes.
This is the classic example of our dynamics on the pod too, because we say like I'm like oh, this is wonderful, and Jet's like moving along.
I want to have my cake and eat it too. I want it to be real, and I'm tired of them being fake. But if they're not fake, I can't make fun of them. So what's the use of having a comedy podcast?
Yeah.
Group date number 2, you guys. Are you willing to fight for love? This is the group date with Katie, Piper, Serena P, Rachel, Kit, Chelsea, Jasenia, Lauren, Serena C, and MJ. Nat James is punching a bag in the forest and dragging a tire. We have more, not a tire like what you wear, but like literally dragging a tire. We have former world boxing champion Mia St. John. This is the boxing date. This is the fight date. There's a Rocky-style training session. Chris Harrison says, "Let the journey begin." It's just a lot of music drops right now. I don't know how this is happening. And Wells shows up for no reason. You guys have words up until the fights begin?
I actually didn't hate this date as much as I've hated other previous physical bout dates. With that being said, I loved the Logjammin workout. Sure.
Logjammin?
Yeah, dude, he's Logjammin, bro.
Are you fishing for a title? I think you might have just found the title. Logjammin.
Previously, we've seen things where it's like, well, this person hates this person, so let's have them fight. There wasn't even any of that. It was just a bunch of people that get along with each other that now have to fight one another.
Right.
It was just all...
My main two takeaways are, one, Serena C, when they saw him training, Serena C goes, "Oh my God, I saw him and I was like, yum, daddy." Oh, like when she's just so real. Yeah. I like me some Serena C. My other takeaway was Wells. Can we stop? I mean, can we stop? In fact, let me give you Wells's exact contribution to the show. This is 100% of Wells's contribution. He said, I have a quote here. Katie is fierce, angry. That's it. Katie is fierce, angry, and it stopped. And obviously you hear the cuts. We know there's more, but if you're going to put him on, give him some freaking airtime. I mean, what are you even having him on for?
He's not Fred Willard. He's not Fred Willard. So you need to get someone who can follow up Fred Willard. Wells is the bartender in Paradise, and he's a great, funny bartender in Paradise.
Why does he get so much screen time? I know he comes from a broadcast journalism background. I know he has a podcast and a radio thing. And
well, they're probably building him as a potential replacement for Chris Harrison when Chris Harrison decides to peace out, maybe.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
I'm actually going to go ahead and interrupt this group date, just like Chris Harrison interrupted Victoria before, because it's time for a pop quiz!
Ooh, all right.
Well, I mean, both of you have to grab a pen and a piece of paper because...
I haven't held a pen in 10 years.
This pop quiz is Bachelor Beauty Queen Edition. You're going to write down as many Bachelor Beauty Queens. These are women that have held titles, worn crowns, right? Name as many that you can recall. 3, 2, 1, go. And 3, 2, 1, time. Frace first. Name your beauty queens.
I wrote Mari, Catalina, Victoria, self-proclaimed, and Chris Harrison.
Love it. Love it. I wrote Catalina and Vic, obviously, and then I wrote Hannah-Bama because she was Miss Alabama or something,
Correct.
right?
She was.
Alabama.
And then wasn't her enemy Bree? Was that her name? The other one who was like competing with her or something? One of them had a competitor.
Oh, there's a couple in recent seasons. There is Catalina, we know that from this episode, but Hannah Brown, of course, former Bachelorette.
Kaylin was the one. That's
Kaylin.
it.
Was with Dean now. She was her arch enemy on her season. Victoria Paul. Do we remember Paul?
Yep.
And you guys, come on, I want Alea. Alea!
Oh, that doesn't surprise me though. I didn't know that she was a beauty queen, but that does not surprise
No,
me.
but Mari is actually a beauty queen.
Yeah. I didn't know.
She was actually a state winner for Miss USA 2019. She's a very recent beauty queen. Any guesses as to which state? Frace first?
State of confusion. The state of Idaho.
Oh, dude, if she's a Kardashian, I'm going Jersey.
Miss Maryland.
Oh.
2019. USA.
I'm from Maryland. She's got crabs.
Exactly.
She doesn't have crabs, listeners.
So yes, she was born in Puerto Rico, and she's Boricua. Proud of it.
Oh.
Let's move on into the nighttime portion of the date, shall we? There are turtlenecks, and there's a little bit of Rachel time. She admits that this week was hard. We have some Piper time, and Matt really likes her, which I like a lot because she's my girl. She really likes him. Any words about this little moment?
Yeah, I think Rachel had a moment to remind the viewers who the front runner is. That's all I took from it.
And Katie does a little bit of tattling and talks about the escort thing to Matt. But she does so in a way where she does continue to be the constant voice of reason. And I think everyone really appreciates that because it's The Bachelor. There's never a voice of reason. She might be the first contestant in history that I can recall that was a consistent voice of reason.
I also think that she genuinely just wants people to get along, and is not gonna.
Well, she's on the wrong show.
She's not afraid. She's not afraid to engage though.
So this drama continues next week. I wish them the very best, whatever that may look like. This has been
Jets!
And Frace.
and Chelsea, leaving you with these parting hashtags. Hashtag Limos and Roses. Hashtag fashion. Hashtag brace first. Hashtag 10 toes. I'm not letting it go, guys. Hashtag boobs. Hashtag Chris Harrison. Hashtag why Wells. Hashtag not La Quinta. Hashtag nemacolin. Hashtag fashion corner. Hashtag zoomcast. Hashtag pop quiz. Hashtag follow us on YouTube. Hashtag producer Rose. Hashtag turtlenecks. Hashtag like and subscribe. Hashtag garbage. Hashtag beauty queens. We are all here for the right reasons. Bye, guys.
Everybody!